move, smack 'em, cool, quiet.
Hi guys. Nah, I'm kidding. What's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of the NBA Recap. So back on the video, back on the episode. And today, I want to talk about the current NBA season like I do every video. What am I saying? But what I'm going to particularly be focused on is the amount of injuries that have been in the NBA and how it's really affecting the players, especially those who are trying to build chemistry and those who are trying to make that playoff push that they need, but without their guys that they want. So it's there's stuff that really needs to be talked about and things that need to be said. So I'm gonna go into like maybe I'll go into some players individually, but for most of the time I'm going to just talk about mainly what I think about each person. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, there are many stars who are currently injured in the NBA, mainly because of the compacted season that has been this year, because 72-game season, a lot of games back to back. There are like 5 games in 7 days, ridiculous. But yeah, there's things that are going on in the NBA world that we gotta talk about a little bit. Guys like LeBron James, guys like Damian Lillard, guys like Kevin Durant, guys like James Harden. That's just to name a few. And to think that these guys are going down, which they don't really these guys have been relatively healthy. Most of you guys that have started are relatively healthy their entire career. It's just that the effect of this season has really affected everyone's workload, because everyone is now into like a more compressed season. Like I said, a lot of back-to-backs, a lot of 4 games in like 5 days. The games like that, it's like crazy. But at the same time, people have to. I understand, like, with the whole thing that's going on in the world right now. I mean, with the row, you gotta. They have to reduce the season to 72 games. But I did not think the 72. It's just 10 games, not freaking 24 games. It's 10 games. I'm surprised that it got compressed so fast. I understand they want to make the. I understand they're. Adam Silver, the commissioner, man, is trying to make the season be shorter so that everyone can be ready and rested for the Olympics. That's in the summer, which we don't know if that's gonna even still go on anymore. But like, people have been saying like, hey, we should be ready for this. We should be ready for this, because they don't want to take another L like they did in the other cup. I forget. But yeah, this is what I'm saying is that like so many stars are going on. I'm gonna talk about how it affects each team, and I'm gonna talk about the teams that really have the most injured deprived team. But yeah, so like teams like the Denver Nuggets, man, they just lost Jamal Murray for the entire season, man. Their second best player on that team. Obviously there's gonna be some issues with who's gonna get the ball, but I do expect to see guys like Nikola Jokic get more of those shots. Michael Porter Jr. get more of those shots. Will Barton will get most of those shots. But I think that they have a great point guard in Monte Morris. I don't think their point guard issue is bad. I'm just saying that like Monte Morris isn't a Jamal Murray, so like there's gonna be a little bit of issues there. But at the same time, I still think it could be beneficial for guys to get reps, and then when Jamal Murray does come back, it'll be stronger than ever. Like, I do believe so. So I think that for that team, especially in the Western Conference, they might drop a bit, but at the same time, I think that in a way, I think it will make them beneficial in their future. But other teams like the Portland Trailblazers, Damian Lillard went down to injury. Like, it's just so weird that even Damian Lillard went down to injury. This guy doesn't really get injured that often. I know I'm pretty sure he had some injuries in the past. I don't know if that's true or not, but I remember he had some stuff in the past. But as of like past 5 years, he hasn't really been that injury deprived. But I feel like now it's just so weird to see how all these stars like affect, like even the Brooklyn Nets, the Nets. It's just this is what aggravates about the Nets. It's that when one guy comes in, other guy comes out. It's just like so, like James Harden, one of the most durable stars in this league, is out with a hamstring. Even now, we just got a report that he's gonna have a setback because of his hamstring, and now people don't know what's going to go on with his hamstring. So what is going on? Kevin Durant just injured his thigh. Obviously, it's a minor injury, so it's going to be day to day. But he injured his left thigh or something like that on a contact injury. So like, it's just so many different things that go on. Let's talk about another injury. Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell went out with an injury for the Utah Jazz. You know, arguably one of their best guys. You could say Rudy Gobert. Me personally, I don't think Rudy Gobert is the best player on that team. No offense, but Donovan Mitchell, like a main contributor to the Utah Jazz, he's out with an injury. Like, it's just like these injuries are so apparent and so weird. I don't understand why nobody is talking about it. It's just so weird. And like Anthony Davis, I mean, we all know Anthony Davis is a guy that gets injured like every year. He gets a little ding, gets a little bump, rests up. He's great, he's better than ever. But I feel like with this injury, like obviously you gotta put him in the conversation. He was playing a game, he was playing games, and he got injured. Who else got injured? Joel Embiid sometimes in and out of the lineups. He was out for most of the period. Steph Curry, before he went on his ridiculous streak, he got injured with a tailbone. Hell, he's still going through that tailbone injury as we speak, and is dropping 40+ points. But he is doing things which is ridiculous. But even on a tailbone injury, he had a tailbone injury. So James Wiseman went out. Who else? There's just so many like injuries, man. Like so many injuries. Tobias Harris, he was nursing an injury. Like, it's just so many different injuries that are going on simultaneously. It's just like, I think this is probably one of the most injury compacted years in NBA history. I understand the numbers may not be the ones to back me up on this, but I'm saying that like all the major stars are like getting injured in some way. But I'm also gonna look at the other side of this. Maybe this is like fake load managing in a sense, because when you think about it, it's really happening to all the major stars, the major superstars of their team, like LeBron and AD, Kevin Durant, James Harden. Okay, you can't count Kyrie, but Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard. CJ McCollum was out for a bit. It just seems like it's happening more to the major stars. Maybe this could be like Kawhi Leonard. Maybe this could be like just load managing in a sense. It could be, but like we don't know, especially with the playoffs. So I don't know. I don't know personally. Don't really take my word for it. But I think this could be technically load managing because they don't want their players to be severely injured going into the playoffs. And the playoffs like what 4 or 5 weeks away. Like it's almost here. So we have to come to terms with like some of these guys that we play in these games won't be in the lineups. Like my issue with some of this is that like chemistry is a thing. Like, what if you're not playing with your complete roster? Like, we can even go with the Brooklyn Nets. They had a Blake Griffin. He hasn't played with the big three yet. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Andre Drummond, a new pickup. Ben McLemore, new pickup. They have not played with them. Anthony Davis should be back like tomorrow for tomorrow's game. So congrats to him. Hopefully he does well. I'm gonna knock on wood for him because he really was grinding his entire way to get back, and now he's back. Guys like Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard went down to injury, and it's just like, I mean, Kawhi Leonard does that all the time. He always goes down to injury, load manages. But this year, he was playing like a lot of back-to-backs, playing like a lot of. Maybe that's due to the fact of compressed season. But at the same time, I think Adam Silver needs to have a meeting and be like, we cannot have it like this anymore. Because the way that it went, the way that's going, it's just so bad. Maybe next year, obviously, will be. Like I said, I feel like he's only doing this for this year because of the Olympics, and the Olympics is really close this year to the end of the playoffs. So I think he wants everybody to be rested for the Olympics. But at the same time, maybe next year will be different. Obviously, maybe it'll still be a 72-game season because everything we're not completely secure everything yet. But obviously, fans are expected at full capacity for next season. Different things are going on. It's just like, how will each team function with the new piece that they added, like from the trade deadline to the buyout market? Like, how are these teams gonna mesh when their stars come in? Because like I said, most of the stars are the ones that are being out. So what's gonna happen with the playoffs? Is it gonna be an even playing field? Our team's gonna be surprised. The only durable team that I've seen so far is probably the Phoenix Suns, who have not had an injury, not done with the protocols. Like I'm saying, I'm gonna knock on wood for them because they're having a great season. But at the same time, like we have to talk about how each piece is gonna like flow with each team and how we're gonna see each team do it in the playoffs. And guys, you got it. Like Jaren Jackson Jr. When is he coming back? I understand his injury was like all the way in the bubble, but when is he coming back? Like we don't know. The things that's going on is just that we don't know what's gonna happen. I believe Valanciunas is on a day-to-day. Like we don't know. We honestly don't know. Yeah, man. But that was that for this video, man. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on post notifications. Make sure you know I'm here for every video. Please let me know in the comments if you agree with me, if you agree with what I said. And yeah, as always, we out. Peace.
Get up and leave. Tell you to love you, then get up and leave. I show the loyalty. Take it.